Yeah, well, he's big on the slogans. He's not so good on the delivery. But from an economics point of view, how can you put more money into the economy, both through tax cuts and through direct cost of living assistance, without being inflationary?
Well, you can't, but it's actually worse, Chris, because inflation is when you have too much money, chasing too few goods and services. At the same time, they're putting more money in the economy. They're putting a foot on the throat of production by taking more and more resources away from business. Australia is a case study that a nation cannot tax, spend, and regulate itself to prosperity.
Yeah, we will see. What about, I suppose you're not really here for political analysis, but it just seems to me to be a bold thing to have a different inflation forecast out there with such a short time frame on it, because if he doesn't achieve it, Jim Chalmers is going to be left with egg on his face.
Well, the Prime Minister, when campaigning, and constantly talks of, the objective of his government is to reduce the cost of living, where instead the policies, not just by his government, but, for over 20 years, have delivered us a decline, not in the cost of living, but the standard of living. This budget will have, again, a record level of taxation, a record level of spending. I would venture within the scope of the forward estimates, we will hit $1 trillion of gross debt. And as a proportion of GDP, government expenditure, a government is going to increase. And we're only talking about the Commonwealth. We haven't even gotten to the state budgets yet. Victoria had a budget deficit last month. New South Wales is coming up. It's likely to have a sizable budget deficit as well.
Indeed.
So there's money flooding into the economy left, right and centre. I struggle to, obviously, the proof will be in the pudding, but I struggle to see how the Treasury's forecasts will be achieved. All the cost of living relief that the Treasurer is promising is actually not addressing inflation. It's just temporarily masking.
Exactly. It doesn't deal with the underlying problems. Spot on, Dimitri. Thanks for joining us. Dimitri Burshtein there. I got to say, that's what I'll be going to. Everyone has their favourite bit of the budget to go to first up, and I always go to that table at the end of budget paper 1 that tells us how big the spending is and the tax take is as a proportion of the economy, and it's just going to be keeping on going up. It's too big already, and it's getting even worse.